It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Good Monday morning. It is March the 2nd. I'm here with Paul Fletcher.
Holy crap, it is March, isn't it? Wow.
Ryder.
Hey, what's up, turkeys?
What's up, turkeys?
What's
Hi, turkey.
up, turkeys?
Yeah.
Let's get to it. Woo, a new week, a new month. I'm feeling like a spring chicken already.
All right.
Come on. Got one up into the 40s today. Come on. Let's lay it on the table, Paul Fletcher. Give me some headlines.
Last week, it was the Renaissance Festival getting the attention from USA Today. This week, it's our food trucks. USA Today's 10 Best Reader's Choice Awards nominated the Minnesota Food Truck Festival, which is a series that runs throughout the summer for their 10 best readers.
Yeah.
And voting for that opens today. This thing runs, it hits like Anoka, Minneapolis, Hopkins. It kind of does a tour of the Twin Cities.
The Minneapolis version is that's right. I mean, it's right out my door. It's awesome. I wake up in the morning, it's a Saturday, and I'm like, wow, I smell really good food, and I have to leave now so I don't embarrass myself with a feed bag.
It's the first time we've cracked the top 10. So,
nice.
Yeah. Wallet Hub just released its list of the nation's most sinful states, comparing everything from violent crime and theft to gambling, adult entertainment, and rates of excessive drinking. Minnesota came in at a very innocent number 45.
Ooh, we have lots of work to do.
Wow.
Our worst categories were lust and apparently anger and hatred.
Have they never seen Fargo?
Yeah.
Wow.
Have they not driven up north somewhere and you see all these just random strip clubs for people to check out when they're going hunting?
Hang on. Our biggest lust and
lust and apparently anger and hatred.
Okay, well, lust
anger and hatred is one category, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. You can't put lust on there. That's like saying the desire for oxygen. I mean, that's just a part of the human condition.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
We're just a horny bunch of people walking around.
Take a wild guess who was number one.
Rhode Island.
No.
Ooh, boy. If they're being honest, Mississippi. But I'm going to say it's probably
Nevada.
Let's see. Wow, is that too obvious? Is it Nevada?
I mean, it's right there in the name. Yeah.
Sin City.
Sin City, yep. Nevada's number one, California, Louisiana, Florida, Texas. So we got two of our WTFs in there.
Sure.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. No, that humidity, down south, man, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
Just keeps people on the up and up, or the down and down, I should say.
Right. Tensions in the Middle East continue escalating after the United States and Israel launched major military operations targeting Iranian military and government sites, including the compound of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, whom Iranian state media report dead. President Trump pledged that the U.S. and Israeli military operations against Iran will persist, quote, as long as necessary, insisting the strikes are aimed at dismantling Tehran's threat and giving Iranians a chance to take back their country. In social media posts and interviews following the joint offensive, Trump confirmed that Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. I've practiced this a million times. I still can't get it right. He was killed in the initial attacks and described the campaign as major combat operations that would press on without interruption to achieve U.S. goals.
From all accounts, the Iranian government, the Islamic Republic, has had contingency plans in place for decades, as in like this guy, then that guy, then that guy, then that guy. There are a lot of things, but unprepared is not one of them. This is really, really terrifying.
Yeah.
After 1 week of voting for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Phil Collins is leading the way with 173,000 votes.
Go get him, Phil.
Followed by Pink, New Edition, Luther Vandross.
New Edition?
Right.
Really?
Yeah, I was kind of shocked by that one, too. Billy Idol rounded out the top 5 of the fan vote. I was initially surprised that Pink was number 2, but A, she's awesome. B, she's a pop artist, and she's still kind of relevant. And so I'm sure that, the fan vote is probably coming out like crazy for her. Well, it is, actually. She's number 2.
I've made it a point for my entire life to ignore everything about boy bands I could. New Edition, that's Bobby Brown, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
just
I believe
making
the
sure
guys from Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yeah, the Bobby, that's the Boston guys. Okay, just making sure I'm hearing the right things. That's not the baby back ribs dudes.
No.
Okay.
It is. So,
is Baby Back Ribs dudes Boys to Men? No?
Baby Back Ribs
is
Boyz II Men?
that's Justin Timberlake. Where's he from? Wasn't he a baby back rib
Tennessee.
guy?
He was Tennessee.
No, it's
No,
not
what band?
NSYNC.
What boy band?
NSYNC. Sorry,
man.
yeah, NSYNC.
We're going to throw this one out to the
Yeah.
text line, 651-989, Rock the Luther, Westside Volkswagen, talking text line.
I just said, where's he from? And you said Tennessee, which is factually correct, but a shocking answer nonetheless.
Well, I was reading something, and I wasn't. So what I was reading, though, is that New Edition really was like a breeding ground of massive R&B artists.
Okay.
Bobby Brown, Ralph Tresvant, Johnny Gill all had huge individual solo careers, and then you had DeVoe and Bivens, who went on to do Belle Biv DeVoe. So it was, New Edition ended up being massive.
I'm on a 6-day streak for you, buddy.
Come on, let's go.
Let's samesies.
Wow. Oh, well.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Seeking solace in the fact that the fan vote really doesn't amount to much.
No, my
in the grand scheme of
vote
things.
doesn't matter for you.
It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. It just doesn't mean a lot to the royal me.
Yeah.
If you know
Right,
what I'm
the
saying.
royal me. That's right. Ozzy Osbourne was honored with a posthumous Lifetime Achievement Award at the 2026 Brit Awards. It began with a video message from Dolly Parton. Quote, Ozzy knew how to get your attention with his love and theatrics, his musical gifts. Sharon accepted the award on behalf of Ozzy, describing him as a humble egomaniac and a rock star who would be proud to receive the award. An all-star rock tribute performance closed the show, featuring musicians who played with Ozzy over the years, and was fronted by Robbie Williams.
Okay, then.
Is that
Robbie Williams still just man on the spot all the time?
Is
in England?
It just seems odd, an odd spot guy to be fronting that band. I know he's huge. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, when you can do 10 Wembley stadiums, they don't. It doesn't matter. Just get him up there.
Good point.
We mentioned this a while ago. Noel Gallagher was awarded the Songwriter of the Year.
Yeah.
Remember they said they were going to get that? A very quick speech, but he did say one thing I loved. He said he thanked the original lineup. Several of the guys that played in Oasis, a bunch of the musicians. He said they brought those songs to life. Without them, I'd just be another singer-songwriter, and no one gives a bleep about singer-songwriters.
Wow. Jeez.
Okay.
Noel's always so good for so many things.
A 21-year-old skier was dangling from a ski lift at Big Bear in California recently. Apparently, she tried to do a pull-up and slipped. This is her and her sister talking about the frightening experience.
I was so scared. My friend was literally screaming at her in the video, stop wiggling. And she was like in full panic mode. Hold me up! And then I ripped my gloves off. They were both in my mouth, biting down and holding onto her with both hands. She was just starting to freak out and like shake.
Apparently, we got up to 156 feet. I looked down and I just see my dad. I love my sister. I love my friend. I am so thankful that they saved me.
Did either of you see
Wow.
this video? It was on like national news last week. It was freaky.
Yeah.
You know what? It's you're having enough fun already.
Yeah.
Just sit there.
Yeah.
Just get off and ski and then get on the thing and sit there and then get off and ski and then get on the thing and sit there.
I mean, they were scared to death, obviously, but they're not so scared that they couldn't pull a phone out and record the whole thing.
Yeah, no.
Well,
of
it was
course not.
somebody from the other side recorded it.
There's one on their chair.
Oh, from them?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I'm watching it going, what is happening?
I might not make it. Get your phone out.
Yeah. In case I slip and fall. Texas news anchor and the station's chief meteorologist were bickering over the forecast last week. Just take a listen.
We don't have any rain in our forecast, but Midland weather
Did you say
radio.
we don't have any rain in the forecast?
In the next few days. But in the next few days, we have Midland weather radio day.
I just said a second ago we have rain in the forecast.
Well, not until this weekend, right?
Well, the day of the event I have rain.
Well, I'm talking like 3 or 4 days.
It's coming, actually, the rain chance is coming before
Stop
the
trying
event.
to correct people and just do your job.
I just don't know why you don't listen to me. Anyways, take a look at
Because you're
side.
boring.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
Okay,
now.
anyways.
Hey, now.
They're totally stealing our morning radio stick, which is
Man.
just bickering all morning.
Just letting the weather gal have it.
That's Carney Porter. She was the anchor, and the weather dude, Michael Bowling. They say that they're super close. They talk trash to each other all day, and sometimes it comes out on the air. Trust me, it's all love. That's what they say.
Hey, speaking of weathermen, HBO show last night, DTF St. Louis premiered.
yeah?
Jason Bateman
Watch
as
it?
the weatherman. Clark Forrest in St. Louis. And I put up a little screenshot at the end in the end credits. Assistant to Mr. Conrad, Connell Gorman with his first TV credit. There on the TV screen.
Nice.
Very exciting moment for me and Rosemary watching. The show's
cool.
phenomenal.
Yes.
But then to see that was really, 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 really nice.
Hell
Damn it!
yeah.
I can't believe I forgot that it was starting last night. I got it saved. It'll pop up in the whatever the notifications.
It's
What is-
fantastic.
It's HBO?
HBO,
Okay.
HBO Max, DTF St. Louis.
Yeah.
Great. It's a wild one, as they say. Yeah.
I can't wait.
Giddy
Yeah.
up.
If you like your weathermen to be swingers, this is your show.
Who doesn't?
The Minnesota Wild back in business yesterday at home, lost to the Blues 3-1. Come on, fellas. After we come back from the Olympics, we beat the Avalanche, and then we just lay an egg against Utah, and then come home and drop one late to the Blues last night.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. Kirill Kaprizov scored on a power play in the second period. That ties him as the franchise's all-time scoring leader with...
Marian Gaborik.
There you go.
Yeah.
A little trivia for you.
Thanks.
That record will not be shared for very long, I would imagine.
No.
But tough game. Joel Eriksson-Ek was back in action. Took a high stick to the eye Friday night in Salt Lake City against Utah. That was a pretty rough one. But
Less than ideal.
he said it was I was lucky in an unlucky play. It was scarier when it happened, but it's all good now. So Kaprizov, in his 380th game, has tied Gaborik. He played 502 games to get to that same amount of goals. So, yeah, he's doing pretty well. Tomorrow night, the Wild and Lightning face off at the Grand Casino Arena, and that game will be nationally televised.
Time to wake up.
Yeah, the Minnesota Frost got hammered yesterday by the Montreal Victoire 4-0. Our hockey teams just really didn't have a good day yesterday. So Montreal is leading the standings. The Frost are in third place now. Kendall Coyne Schofield, long-term injured reserve because of an upper body injury she suffered in the Olympics.
Whoa.
Not good news.
Did not hear about that.
Minnesota Timberwolves did what they needed to do yesterday in Denver. They beat the Nuggets, which is in itself pretty great. They had already lost 3 times to Denver this year, so the season series will be 1-3. And they took fourth place from the Nuggets, who are now in fifth place. Teams entered the game with a tie record. We have to stay in front of them because of that season series. Anthony Edwards, 21 points. Jalen McDaniels, 20 points. Bones Highland, 18 points. That's what I'm talking about. Some balanced scoring. And Anthony Edwards, just because why not, had the playground move where he threw himself an alley-oop dunk off the backboard. It's just one of those moments when you have to go, oh, yeah, that's right, he's that guy.
Wow.
He can just do that in traffic against other NBA players.
Holy smokes.
Pretty incredible. Lake Elmo. Come on, Lake Elmo. Give us some love.
Yeah.
Glad to have you with us.
Lots of ice melting this week.
Damn
Yeah,
straight.
there
Lake
is.
Elmo.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Good Monday morning. If you missed it, over the weekend, Saturday Night Live, which was on, wait for it, Saturday night.
Oh, yeah.
The Hughes brothers, Quinn of the Wild, Jack of the Devils, both of the U.S. men's Olympic hockey team, stopped by for the open to the show, if you will, alongside the host, the kid who's on that show, Heated Rivalry, the hockey show.
Connor Story.
Connor Story, thank you. And then they were joined by Hillary Knight and Megan Keller of the women's team. It was a big moment for everybody involved.
No way, man. I hear you're great.
Ken and Jack, you guys literally just won the Olympics. Congrats.
Thanks. But we've been so busy playing, we haven't had time to see your show yet.
Oh, I hope some hockey players watched it.
Don't worry, we saw your show.
Oh, wow, Hillary, Megan, it's so cool that we're all here.
It was gonna be just us, but we thought we'd invite the guys too.
Both of your teams just won the gold.
Thanks. The last time the men did that was 46 years ago.
And the last time we did that was 2 whole Olympics ago.
Boom.
Man.
It doesn't do it justice, the amount of applause those women got when they walked on the stage.
Yeah.
It was like never ending. You can find it. I threw it up on our Instagram over the weekend. So yeah, it was awesome.
Quinn Hughes, by the way, left New York City, flew back for the game yesterday against the Blues. He's back in New York City today to be on the Tonight Show along with his brother Jack again. And then he'll be back tomorrow night to play Tampa Bay. Quite a few days. The team is encouraging every bit of this. The Wild, they're like, hey, it's a once in a lifetime thing. Probably it's not that often a hockey player for the Minnesota Wild is asked to be, backing and forth into New York for a bunch of national TV drops. So, enjoy it, get back, and then let's win some hockey games. What do you say?
Let's lose a bunch so we can get down to those wild card spots. Remember we talked about that.
Minnesota Monday morning mixtape is what we're dealing with now. So, in honor of the Hughes boys appearing and the and Knight and Keller all on SNL, let's put a Monday morning mixtape together about songs that name check famous athletes. How about it? 651-989-ROCK is your Luther Westside Volkswagen Talk and Text line. Ryder, what comes to mind first?
Oh, of course, it's the Beastie Boys. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
Little Sure Shot. I have the Rod Carew shirt that says Mad Hits on it.
Nice.
So,
I like that.
The theme song to season 2 of Patriot, my favorite television show of all time. Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, man. The opening credits every time. Fletcher, what comes to mind?
Well, you know what? Actually, I would have been on the same train as Ryder because the Beasties are my guys. Rod Carew, awesome twin. But Tragically Hip in 1998 released a song called Fireworks. It drops one of my favorite hockey players of all time.
Bobby Orr there.
Probably the greatest defenseman of all time. He was one of the first hockey players I really gravitated towards. So when the Tragically Hip did that, got my attention.
As you might expect, I'm never far away from a Warren Zevon reference. And, of course, from 2002, Hit Somebody, the hockey song, Rocket Richard. Come on, Rocket Richard.
So great.
I had to get the Richard reference there, but the chorus, of course. What's a Canadian farm boy to do? Hit somebody. What else can a farm boy from Canada do? Hit somebody. That's the chorus.
100%.
Just absolutely fantastic. I love the idea of Warren Zevon watching like a handful of hockey games and going, hey, there's a song there. I doubt he was a hockey fanatic. Could have been. I don't know.
Who knows?
No telling.
I think your speculation is right on.
Let us know your suggestions. We're going to load this bad boy up. 651-989-ROCK, the Luther Westside Volkswagen Talk and Text line.
Outcast, I like this one. Whole World. I mean, anytime you drop a Randy Moss, you're going to get our attention. That's from Steven.
Yes.
Man,
one of the first ones I thought of, too.
Yeah, that'll work.
He could run. He also had some big old mitts. Grab onto anything. We got another one from Gina. She mentioned Joe DiMaggio in Simon and Garfunkel's Mrs. Robinson.
Yep, that works.
Lemonhead's version is cool, too, of that song. And then I love this pick from Mark referencing Reuben Hurricane Carter in the Bob Dylan song Hurricane.
Come on, Bob. Get after it.
Man, I think the best 8-minute song ever.
That's more than just a name drop. That's like a song drop.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing
Pretty
right
much.
there.
Yeah.
What else is jumping off the list here, Paul?
Luther Westside Volkswagen Talk and Text line mentioned Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire. And names about 6 billion.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. We Didn't Start the Fire is kind of the default pick for if you're ever stuck on a mixtape theme.
Yeah, something in there is going to make sense, yeah.
I think Joe DiMaggio also should get a nod for the most mentions. That guy gets mentioned more than anybody.
Yeah. Oh, sure he does. And then don't even get me started on the coffee the guy was shilling. Come on, Mr. Coffee, for crying out. How can you be one of the great baseball players of all time and then be known as something else? That's impressive.
It's true.
Mr. Coffee, Mr. Marilyn Monroe, the guy was living his best life off the diamond.
Not doing too bad. Hey, speaking of Joe DiMaggio, what about John Fogerty?
Oh, sure. That makes sense. Say, hey, Willie, again with Joe.
Yeah.
Joltin' Joe.
That one came in from Matt.
Yeah, that's up there for sure.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
All right, so 651-989-ROCK, keep them coming. As I said, we'll load up the entire thing. We'll share them on socials. The state of Virginia has been trying to figure out how they should, make marijuana legal over there. They're going through the process of, we're trying to, find a path forward for retail marijuana sales. Right. And in part of this, somebody said, well, why don't we investigate what it is for people to get behind the wheel if they've got a little THC going in their bloodstream.
Okay.
And so the Virginia Tech Transportation Institute has been doing a long-term study on people's driving habits, basically while stoned.
Okay.
That's what it comes down to.
Doing ride-alongs with a bunch of high schoolers?
No, they put cameras and sensors into a bunch of personal vehicles throughout Virginia State, and they just observe their natural behavior over time.
Okay.
They were like, with cannabis, it's really important because it's so individualized. People have wildly different responses to THC in their bodies. I mean, your physical. I've never been a stoner. I tried. I really put my shoulder to the wheel and finally just had to give up the ghost.
Yeah, I got some friends who are like, it just doesn't work for me.
It works great for me if I'm in a beanbag chair and I'm about to go to bed already. I mean, it'll knock me out, but that's about all that happens.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from personal experience, nothing I'm proud of, but I drove stoned one time in my life.
Okay.
1989. 1989.
Okay.
And it was so traumatic. I mean, it's all it took. One strike and I was out. Nothing bad happened, thankfully. And I'm not proud to say this, but sitting at a house at a party, time to leave, and I had at the time the band van, me and one of the guys in the band, and we're gonna drive about a mile back to my house. And I'm like, well, how hard can it be to drive a mile?
Sure.
Well, for me, stoned really hard because I had one red light to navigate, and as I was approaching the light that was red, I applied the brakes and came to a nice slow stop. And then I did it again because I hadn't actually stopped. I just thought I was already stopped. And then I did it again. And about 4 or 5 different times, I was under the impression I'd already come to a complete stop. And I realized the van's still moving. And so then I would come to a stop. It was like, and I don't know if it was all just in my head and I made a nice, easy stop that an onlooker wouldn't have noticed. Or I don't know, maybe I stopped 5 different times and then crept forward. I don't know.
Wow.
But that moment took about 38 minutes in my brain.
Right.
Yeah.
And as it was happening, I was like, this is the worst idea I've ever had in my life. I mean, it was like, at the time, I remember thinking, like, I feel like this must be what tripping's like. I mean, I was out of my head.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I finally am at the red light, and I looked out, I was like, we're stopped, right? And yeah. And of course, on the other side of the intersection is a cop. And I'm like,
no.
He knows. He knows.
Of course you think that.
He's setting the trap. That's the spider. I've entered the web. And I just melted down.
Wow.
Light turned green. He drove right past me. I drove forward another quarter of a mile, got to the house, walked out and said, flop sweat. Never again. Never again.
That is terrifying.
That was it. What the state of Virginia has deduced after 150,000 miles tracking people driving in their car, 9,000 different trips were taken that involved cannabis use. A ton of research now. They basically determine this. People drive slower and stick to rural roads. That's the basic thing. People are smart enough to get off the highway, and they tend to go a little below the speed limit. That's not a defense for it. It's probably still a great idea to get Uber. That's why that exists.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's at the end of it, what they came up with is, everyone drives pretty slow.
Yeah.
Which is better than driving too fast, I guess.
But that can be dangerous too.
It certainly
if you're going
can.
way under the speed limit.
Well, on the highway, certainly.
Yeah.
So at least the stoners are like, stick to the side roads, man.
2 afternoons with some high school kids in the 90s, I think you would have figured this crap out pretty quick.
That's what I was going to say. Is this a shock to anybody?
Yeah, and it was, when the trooper pulled up behind you, you'd head for the Scott County line if you were in Dakota County, because they'd have to whip around and couldn't follow you into somebody else's jurisdiction.
Oh, man. That's why it's a good idea to drive around stoned right near county lines.
Yeah.
Did this research look at 420 or any of that kind of crap?
They certainly. Oh yeah, they said it's 420 is a very real thing. A lot of people do wait. It's Fridays and 420, generally speaking.
Yes.
The traffic, it gets worse.
Amateurs.
After 420. That's
More
when
people.
That's when it's heightened.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like hey, it's Friday and it's 420. Let's go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Again, something high schoolers think is cool.
That's exactly what that is.
For sure.
Virginia, as we mentioned, doing a comprehensive study into the impact of cannabis on drivers. And as Ryder said, we could have told you this 30 years ago. You just drive a little more slowly. You stick to the side roads.
Get off the interstate. Yep.
That's what the good people do. I drove one time in my life stoned and recognized that's never going to happen again. No matter what. I don't care. Don't tell me I got to get to the hospital. I'm walking. It's just
I'm walking.
It was traumatizing because my brain is not the kind of brain that operates well with the cannabis. I know several people, a handful of people. I mean, Who am I kidding? I know a dozen people whose life makes more sense when they're stoned. Their life makes no sense when they're not. For certain brains, I mean, it's an elixir. Boy, I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah. Many people listening to this very station right now.
That's exactly right.
I'm the same way. I was the one time I got really, really stoned. I was the laughing, sad guy who then went and took a nap. I was sad but laughing at the same. It was a disaster.
And that was it. That was the one time you got really stoned.
I mean, no. I've been high multiple times.
Okay.
But this is the one time that I really dug into it.
Took a
and
little
it was
too far?
just I was
Gotcha.
I was terrible at it. Big Lake Nate hit us on the Luther Westside Volkswagen talk and text line and said, I enjoy doing everything high as a giraffe's ass.
See, now that's there you go.
Sure.
There you go.
Yes.
They are. I mean, that is high too because they're tall.
As I said, I tried. It looked great. The stoner life looked great to me back, 30 years ago. And I was for years of my life, I was on a tour bus. No one was going to ask me to drive. Nobody was going to ask me to do anything. All I had to do was step on that bus and then not fall out of it before I got to the next city. And I couldn't even handle that stoned. I mean, I would just be like, nah. Come on, let's listen to music. Okay, I'll get you through the first song, and then I'm laying down.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's just putting me down, baby.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just like I said though. Hey, I tried. I gave it the old sportsman's try.
Yeah,
that's all we can ask of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. I know there are plenty of people out there who are going, guys. It's not that big a deal, and it's not. And if it's not a big deal, then God bless you. But yeah, forget it. I can't. I mean, people still to this day, I find myself in situations. Someone's like, "Hey, man, you want?" And the answer is like, "Yes, I do, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'd love to."
Yeah,
and then nothing good's gonna come of it.
I've largely given up on all of it because I'm just so bad at it all. I suck at it. I'm terrible.
Bad at it.
I am. Booze, smoking. Like if I need to take a nap, then gummies and or puffs are great. But outside of that, I'm terrible at it.
There were a lot of drugs I was good at, but they all involved 12 to 14 hours of my time, and I simply just don't have it anymore. I simply just don't. I just don't have it anymore.
Yeah, that's a lot of commitment.
Yeah, I just it's just too much. I would love to know that no one's going to need me, but it's just been a while since I felt like I could get away with the whole, 12, 13 hours, let's go. This will be fun.
Yeah, if the sky could be purple for 2 or 3 hours, that'd be more manageable.
This spring, if you find yourself thinking like, oh man, I could use a milkshake right now. Every now and again, that sounds like it's what you need. It's going to hit the spot.
Love milkshake.
R.I.P. Annie's.
Yeah, man, no kidding. I just saw that. If you want to get a milkshake, and at the same time you're like, but I'd like to kill a few birds with one stone. Maybe get a milkshake and that replaces my lunch. I'm not going to suggest you go get a protein shake. No.
Okay.
Get a milkshake. Go to the Great Wolf Lodge because they're introducing a new special milkshake. It's ranch dressing topped with carrots, celery, whipped cream, and crispy chicken. Now, this is, I should say, it's a vanilla ice cream mixed with ranch dressing is the base. So
like
it's
ranch.
not exactly.
Yeah.
So it's going to taste like ranch. Carrots, celery, whipped cream, and crispy chicken all in a milkshake.
I love all the things that you're saying. I just don't want them together.
Well, it's only $3. I mean, come on.
Oh, damn. Really?
Probably needs to be $3 to get people to try it.
Here's the line. Blurring the line between dessert and a snack. It can be sipped or gulped like a shake or use it as a dip. We won't judge.
Yes.
Makes me think of the Thanksgiving of 1979. Very memorable in the Gorman house. My brother Dave was a freshman in college. Drunken hijinks. He ends up with a broken jaw.
Oh.
Now, at the time, he was 6'6" and weighed about 160 pounds, literally.
Okay.
And then he broke his jaw, which meant it had to be wired shut for 6 weeks.
Oh.
And then he was about 135 pounds at the end of that. And so everything he ate had to be blended.
Sure.
This is when food processors and blenders were nowhere near as advanced as they are now. But like every meal was just, basically add water, blend it, and then because he could stick a straw in between the overbite he had.
Right.
And so Thanksgiving, my mom made a Thanksgiving shake. Like the turkey, the dressing, the stuffing, the potatoes, everything in the she whipped it all. It took her forever to get it to where he could actually drink it through a straw.
Yeah.
But that really happened in my house. And I remember watching him and just going, you're just a drunken buffoon. This is great.
I mean, mother's commitment.
Yeah, make no mistake.
Like, props to her, but God, that sounds gross.
No, it was the
cranberries too, or
I don't know if the cranberries were involved. If they were right out of the can. Imelda didn't have time for any of that fancy nonsense.
Sure.
Anyway, if you're looking for that milkshake, the Great Wolf Lodge again, let's go. Vanilla ice cream mixed with ranch dressing, topped with carrots, celery, whipped cream, and crispy chicken. My problem's the whipped cream. I don't want that.
All right.
Give me the crispy chicken, the celery, and the carrots, and the ranch.
Well, and it's a vanilla-based ice cream, it says here. But, I mean, I'm sure the ranch buries that flavor. But the whipped cream is strange. By the way, there's a Great Wolf in Bloomington. If anybody wants to check it out, hit us up on the Luther Westside Volkswagen Talking Text line.
Yeah, or if you're driving out to the Dells, I think they have one along the way.
They certainly do.
That tries to steal people from going to Wisconsin Dells.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it many times on the drive.
Yes.
What are we going to come up with next? I don't want to know the answer to that question, actually.
Yeah, same.
I feel like there are days when I feel like we should have just capped everything at like 1997. No. We had all we needed back then.
When you're talking about ranch dressing, the possibilities are unlimited.
That's what they tell me.
That's true. And ranch is great. I mean, I've had ranches that are good enough to drink. I just don't want to do it this way. That's all.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Man, sometimes it just doesn't even seem worth it when you say, yeah, I'll give you a ride, and then you regret it because... Gosh, those passengers can be annoying at times.
Yeah, they can.
What's the one thing someone in your car does that drives you the absolute craziest? You can share your thoughts with us on the Luther Westside Volkswagen Talking Text line, 651-989-ROCK. First things first, as a kid, I used to get hammered all the time by my dad because I would slam the car door too much, just getting in or out of the car.
Wow. Okay.
And it started because there were times when I wouldn't slam it enough. He'd go, hey, you got to shut that door, put more into it.
Right.
And then it's like, then you throw more into it. And then he's like, what are you trying to break the door? And it was like, well, why don't you just set me up to fail a little bit more? I'm 7. Okay. I'm having a little trouble in the gray area here.
That sounds like classic 70s and 80s parenting.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But to this day, my kids, who I never instilled the fear of God in for that, also get into a car. Man, when they get out of a car to leave, my daughter, Marley was visiting last year. She's 23 years old, for crying out loud. I dropped her off at the Armory to go to a gig, and I thought she almost knocked the car sideways when she slammed the door so hard.
Wow.
And I put the window down. I go, hey, she turned around. What? I go, well, yo, Hulk, easy on the door. And she just laughed and kept going.
Yeah.
What did I do to you? Jeez.
Man.
If you don't do it hard enough, the sensor keeps going
That's
off,
right.
and that's
I get it.
nuts.
I get it.
Yeah.
But, man, you shouldn't shake the whole vehicle.
There's no penalty for slamming it too hard.
I know. It's just, but, as a dad, you gotta give her grief for it.
Absolutely.
Is there anything specifically that makes you nuts, Paul?
Yeah. Mine is when the passenger acts like a backseat driver. And I don't even mean like, oh, watch out for that person. It's like them trying to predict what somebody else is going to do. I think this person's going to, it's like, can I just focus on the road? How about I'll handle the driving?
Yeah.
Because then you get my sentences heightened and you get me to panic over something that's probably nothing.
My wife has, Rosemary's a very, very much a not paying attention, then looks up and goes, I'm like, yeah, those brake lights? Yeah, way ahead of you because I'm driving and paying attention.
One other thing my wife does, it's just like we've slowly worked on this because it's something that actually needs to be worked on. Mm-hmm. She sometimes grabs my arm. And it's like, I'm driving. Like, I don't care what's about to happen. Grab, like, I'm happy that you find security in me, but grab something else. Don't grab me while I'm driving.
That would be an absolute no for me.
Yeah.
Ryder?
Make no mistake.
Mr. Ryder needs to dial it back with trying to get kinky while I'm driving the car, bud.
Yes.
I'm not putting that on my list, though. The things I'm putting on my list are do not touch my radio.
Okay.
Leave it alone. And I'm going to park wherever I want to park. If you wanted to park someplace different, then you should have driven.
It is.
That's the parking one's a good one.
Choosing a parking space, it really is just everyone has their own algorithm, like your own subconscious, whatever it is. I went to Best Buy the other day and I turned in, there was a million places I could have parked. And I don't know what guides me, but I know I'm going somewhere. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't even, I'm not even consciously thinking about it, but I just immediately make my decision. It's funny you said that. I hadn't even thought about it. And Rosemary goes, what are you parking here for? And I said, because I am.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know why I grabbed that many Oreo cookies. That's how many I need. That's how many fit in my hand. You just do what you do.
Right.
Ryder, you said touch on that radio.
Leave your hands off the radio.
Absolutely a no-no. Mine is watch out or look out or just those reactions.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm driving. I've had to say this many times. How many accidents have I caused since 1982? I'm sorry, 1981 when I got my license, and the answer's one.
Okay.
One time. I was at fault once, and that was in 1984, maybe.
Okay.
That's it.
That's a good streak.
Pretty good record going, and I mean, knock on wood, but at the same time, I got it. I'm paying attention. As the driver, I'm already doing that.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you had 17 accidents that you caused, all the more reason not to make you panic.
And I tell you what, I have. I also really draw the line at the feet up on the dashboard.
Oh my God!
And that's just for a safety thing because you slam into something, man. That's some broken legs before you know what's going on.
On the Luther Westside Volkswagen Talk and Text line, Forest Lake Ron agreed with you, and he said especially bare feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, gross.
No. Well, there's that too. That's two different issues.
That's gross.
Summer, and you're coming back from a weekend up north, and there is so much freaking traffic.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Feet out the window isn't a problem for me.
And then you rear end somebody and you lose your legs.
My brother Dave and I used to drive around. He would drive, and I'd be in the passenger seat. And one day we noticed that we had the same shoe, and so I ducked down in the seat and put my right foot out the passenger window, and he put his left foot out the driver's window.
Yeah.
So anybody that drove by, it looked like he just had his two, Nike high tops hanging out the. That was pretty good shtick.
Well played.
That was good shtick. What else is on the text line?
610 number, Pennsylvania checking in. I love this one. My kid changes the volume by one. Drives me nuts.
Wow. All right. I like that.
Seems kind of pointless. This is probably my favorite, though. From Mr. Ryder. Says Ryder wants to park. He's talking about you, where you park, and Mr. Ryder says, well, yeah, it's because Ryder wants to park a mile away so she can get her steps in. That's how I imagine his tone was.
Oh, wow.
I want to get this, especially now that it's starting to warm up. Come on, it's a nice day out. We're parking in the city, or sometimes I'll go way to the back of the parking lot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryder?
Yeah.
I am 1,000% with you. That's where I park, too. I find the first spot I can that's out a ways so I can get my steps in.
Hell yeah.
I view, just as a side note here, anytime I get in and out of Costco without running over a pedestrian, that's a win.
Yep, good for you.
You know what I mean? That's a tough lot out there, man.
Yeah, it's no messing around. That's not for the faint of heart at all. One more from Tubby says, this one's easy, and I'm guilty of it many times. Playing drums on the dashboard. Honda Civic has the best one. So he's apparently got an endorsement deal with the dashboards of Honda. So
that's a tough one.
Yeah,
that's a tough one for sure. Keep them coming. The phone call from a passenger does bother me too when they're just on their phone and really loudly.
Yeah,
not on the Bluetooth, but they're just do it because they can't either speaker or whatever. I don't know, and that makes no sense because we all have to stay in touch with people. But I have a thing where I'm like, don't get in my car and use your phone.
Correct.
Something about that just seems like kind of rude.
I've had a friend actually say, "Can I take this call? It's kind of important." Then I'm like, "Okay, fine."
But
if they hop on a call or whatever, that's annoying as hell.
No, I get that. So I did see somebody said the passenger side brake pedal when your passenger's doing that.
The imaginary one.
Yeah, the imaginary one. My mom and sister were involved in a crack up way long years, late 70s, early 80s. They were on the highway and there was like a chain reaction. Like everyone slammed their brakes and like 7 cars were involved in this one. And my sister, I believe, if I get this right, my sister was driving. My mom was in the passenger seat, and my mom pressed so hard she broke her ankle.
Oh no!
It was one of those. It was like,
man.
You know what? I need to confirm that, but I'm 99% sure that's exactly what happened.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of those yeah. Oh boy,
that's a quick stop.
That was a pretty quick stop.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. In a few moments, we're going to be joined by Amanda Knox, who will be calling in. She's got a new podcast called Doubt, the Case of Lucy Letby, which is a really engrossing story from the UK. About a pediatric nurse accused of multiple murders of her patients. It's a really
Premature babies, yeah.
Really serious story in the UK for the last few years. And now Amanda Knox, her new podcast. I listened to the first episode of it over the weekend, and very compelling. I'm all in. Amanda Knox, of course, has been kind of a household name since 2007. I mean, this is coming up on 20 years since she, as an exchange student, as a college kid in Italy, was falsely accused, ultimately convicted of murder in one of the most bat-crap crazy stories of the modern era as far as that goes. We all learned way more than we ever thought we needed to know about the Italian legal system, leaving a little bit to be desired, to be sure. But so for 20 years now, the ups and downs and the roller coaster ride, like the whiplash that she's been dealing with, pretty incredible, a pretty incredible woman person Amanda Knox has turned out to be. So, I'm looking very forward to speaking with her. Of all the cases we see on Dateline in 2020 and all these shows come up, we're all guilty of this. You watch something and in 5 minutes you go, oh, they did it, or nope, they're innocent.
Right.
And we probably all are, batting about 500. You know what I mean? Because you never
give or
know.
Take, for sure, yeah.
But I will say, this case, I never for 1 second bought into this. It was just so over the top. I was just like I said, just bat crap crazy. The things that she was accused of, and the evidence, and the idea that it was, the devil worshiping. And the more you learn about her story, it's just mind boggling that this sort of thing could happen. The Hulu doc that she executive produced, The Strange Twisted Tale of Amanda Knox, whatever it was actually called. It's a great watch. You should totally check that out if you get the chance.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, yeah, really, really, really intense. But the podcast is great too, and I've thought a lot about just going through what she went through, and then I guess as a way to just manage it for the rest of your life, to throw herself into looking into cases similar to her own. I mean, she's done literally the Lord's work as an advocate for criminal justice reform and for media ethics, because the media played a huge part in her story, not just the Italian tabloids, but the victim, her roommate who was killed was British, and the British tabloids just eviscerated this poor woman for years over something she had nothing to do with. And so she's on the advisory council for the Frederick Douglass Project for Justice. I mean, her entire life is now spent, not her entire life, but I would say the big part of her life,
for sure,
doing her best to see that people in similar situations are given some support, that they're shown advocacy, that it's just an amazing turnaround in her life, because this is a woman who was told, you're going away for 25 years before she was 25 years old. Can only imagine what that must have been like.
I certainly can't, and we are definitely a society that loves to jump. You know what I mean? Like, and just and make up our mind and then spread it around with social media like it is fact.
Yeah,
it's insane. I will say this: the story that her podcast covers, this case of Lucy Letby.
Yeah,
I've watched there's a documentary on Netflix about it.
Okay.
And this is one of those where it's actually really tough. Like, I found myself going back and forth the entire documentary going,
sure.
Yep, she did it. Oh, wait, no, maybe she did. Oh, yep, it's pretty fascinating. And
sure.
I think Netflix does whoever the documentarians are that did it, I think they did a pretty great job of telling an objective story rather than leaning one way or the other. I mean, they certainly are I would say that the point of the documentary is to try to edge on the side of she's innocent, because otherwise why do the documentary, right?
I guess.
But it is pretty objective, I would say, overall.
Yeah, it's still going on too.
It doesn't lead you. I guess that's the biggest thing, is I wouldn't say it, no matter which side you're on, it doesn't lead you down a path. I think it's pretty objective and lets you kind of decide for yourself.
Yeah. Well, I will definitely going to check that out after listening to the first episode of the podcast. I'm now, it's a case I'm now like, oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
All right, Amanda Knox is joining us on the horn right now. Amanda, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's a real pleasure to speak with you. Let's get right into the podcast. Doubt. I've listened to the first episode. Suffice to say, more than compelling. Give us a real quick overview, if you could. It's a story I'd heard about peripherally, but I learned a whole lot more just in the introduction than I already knew.
Great. Well, so what happened is in 2015 and 2016, a hospital in the UK saw a spike in the deaths of premature babies in the neonatal unit. And instead of looking at what might have been a series of resourcing and infrastructure deficiencies and inadequate numbers of appropriately trained personnel and a lack of training for the nursing staff. Instead, what happened was local authorities looked at the staffing chart and said, "Oh, here's a nurse who was on duty during all of these suspicious deaths. She must be a serial killer." And here's a young woman with no history of violence, no motive, and nobody actually ever saw her do anything to harm any babies. And yet she is spending life sentence where she's in life in prison for 15 life sentences for being and famously being called the evil nurse monster greatest serial killer in UK history. And for me, as somebody who has been at the center of an incredibly salacious true crime story, I know how irresponsible storytelling can have direct impacts on judicial outcomes and how a story can solidify before the facts are settled. And I think that is a danger of what is happening with this case today. So I'm able to look at this case not because my story and the story of Lucy Letby are identical, but because the dynamics of the storytelling are really, really familiar.
Sure, I would imagine you have a red flag central nervous system. There's a part of you that the average person, thankfully and luckily, would never understand. You must see these things, and I do recognize the pattern, like you're describing. I'm sure you have an insight into that. You've become in your work since your exoneration. You've become a default go-to for stories like this. Is it accurate to say you must get dozens, if not hundreds, of story suggestions a month from around the world?
Oh, yes. A lot of people reach out to me and say they feel like the only person who could really understand them and do their story justice is me, and which means that I have to be very careful and very selective. It's something that I've even made mistakes in the past where I took someone's innocence claim for granted, and I didn't do all of the homework that I needed to do to understand all of the complex DNA evidence. And once I finally did, I realized I was wrong and had to do a mea culpa very publicly. So I've learned a lot since becoming an advocate and a journalist in my own right. And so now when I look at this case, I recognize that I'm even a little bit biased in the opposite direction of being more inclined to assume innocence in a case where there are open questions, which I think is the right way to go if you really care about that principle of innocent people shouldn't be in prison for crimes they didn't commit. But at the same time, I do believe in very rigorous work to understand facts of these cases. And in this very extensive 10-episode series, I speak with statisticians and forensic scientists and legal experts and medical experts to better understand what are the actual facts that we know beyond a reasonable doubt in this case, and then highlighting all of the assumptions that are baked into the story around this case that influences the public's imagination.
Amanda Knox is with us on Gorman in the Morning. Doubt the Case of Lucy Letby is the new podcast. I've listened to the first episode. You need to go ahead and follow that wherever you get podcasts. It's fantastic. Amanda, you've been you've become the face of so many of the story lines we're talking about, media ethics and judicial reform. What's the timeline from you finally realizing, okay, I'm done, I'm free, I'm not going back, I'm clear, to then recognizing I got a lot of energy and I got to put it forward?
That's a great question, because it wasn't it's been, I think, 10, 11 years since I was definitively exonerated and I was no longer facing prison time. And I've been grappling with the fallout of how that completely changed my life. And in fact, there's a new documentary out that came out in January called Mouth of the Wolf. That is the documentary of me processing that and deciding how do I take everything that I've learned and all of the pain and the grief that I have felt and put it to good use. And I feel like today I have felt in the past held back and burdened by being associated with somebody else's crimes, right? I went from being an anonymous person to being associated with some of the worst crimes you can think of. And that's how people know me, is through the worst experience of my life. And I've tried to imagine how that could be something that gives me momentum, that propels me forward, that inspires me, as opposed to just holds me back. And so part of that is applying everything that I've learned from my own experience to other people's cases and offering perspective that might have been overlooked by other people who hadn't lived through the same thing I have.
Amanda Knox is with us on Gorman in the Morning. I would not have faulted you for running into a mountain and never returning. So everything you've done in that last decade, admirable, to say the very least. Oh, one last thing. Stand-up comedy. You opened for a good buddy of ours named Chris Porter. I guess
he's
that...
a friend of yours. I love him.
Oh, yeah. Been friends for a long time. I guess you can't imagine being where you are today if you hadn't carried a sense of humor on some level throughout this entire experience of the last 20 years.
Oh, of course. I mean, again, like, you either cry because of the absurdity of life and the unfairness of life, or you just laugh about it. And I think that laughing about it and being able to sort of make fun of myself, make fun of the criminal justice system, gives me a sense of catharsis and also a sense of agency, a sense of control over something that ultimately I do not have control over, like my reputation and judicial outcomes. And I think that it's another way of, like, giving the medicine also. Like, again, I've learned so much from this experience that I can share some hard-won truths that I've learned. And if it comes in the form of something that makes you giggle, all the better.
Man,
love that.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Amanda, thanks so much for taking the time. Doubt the case of Lucy Letby. Everybody needs to listen. It is an absolute honor to have you on the show. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks so much for having me.
See you.
Thanks, Amanda. Wow.
Well, there you have it.
I'm in.
Pretty much
listening
wraps
to this,
that.
at like 10:01, I'm turning on my podcast.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Yep.
Okay, here's today's last word.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Born on this day in 1904, Theodore Geisel, one of the biggest selling authors of his or any generation. We are all very familiar with this man's work. Theodore Geisel, come on, everybody knows him. The pride of Springfield, Massachusetts. Everybody knows his work. In fact, not that long ago, we reminded you of the time that Jesse Jackson read one of his books.
According to the Latter-day Saint Seuss, you do not like green eggs and ham? I do not like them. Sam, I am. I could not, would not on a boat. I will not with a goat.
With a goat? That's great.
I will not eat them in the rain. I will not eat them on a train. Not in the dark, not on a tree, not in a car. You let me be.
You let me be. Theodore Geisel, middle name Seuss.
That's where
that was his mother's maiden name. 48 books, 200 million copies in multiple languages. Dude did okay for himself. So happy birthday, Dr. Seuss.
Yes. I would say my favorite author of all time.
Tomorrow on the show, Dr. Chuck Ells.
Yeah, we're all about the doctors, I guess.
You know it. Coming in with us ahead of the boys' high school hockey tournament. Plus, you can win tickets to the entire tournament.
Whoa.
Holy smokes. Also tomorrow, WTF, Wisconsin, Texas, Florida, my edition.
Oh, boy.
And we'll be giving away more concert tickets. We got no shortage of things to do tomorrow. But now, what's up next, Fletcher?
Commercial free just after 11:45. You know, get you through your lunch hour. I'm going to play OMD. And how about I play a song from the first band you ever saw live?
That'll work for me.
Okay.
Always.
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.